I know y'all all looking at me side-eye like, girl, where you been? Okay, if I was y'all, I would be looking at me that way too. And since I've been gone for so long, I've been out of these YouTube streets, okay? I've been in hiding. I felt like y'all deserve to know where I've been. So I'm going to try to like wrap this up real quick. Keep it G, okay? Yeah, I know I don't do a lot of personal videos, so if this is not something you're interested in, you can go ahead and click off. I won't be offended. But for those of you that have stuck with me, I felt like I owed you an explanation. So generally, YouTube is like a platform for me where no matter what's going on in my life, YouTube keeps me distracted from like real life issues, problems, or whatever is going on. Usually that works for me. This year, however, has been different, okay? There have been a lot of downs. There's been a few ups, but more downs than ups. But I try to pull it together when I get on camera and have like a vibrant personality. But that's not always the case behind the scenes. And sometimes you get so overwhelmed with the things that are going on in life that like you can't operate as normal. And you try to in front of people. If you're anybody like me, like I don't like people seeing me sweat. So I just try to hold it together. And when it gets to the point where I can't even hold it together on camera and I control like the record button, that's when I kind of have to chill out for a little while. But I am back. I've gotten to a point where like I can like pull myself together. But basically this has been a really trying year for me. Maybe a mixture of anxiety. Y'all, it is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I feel like all of us have dealt with some type of mental health issue at some point or another in life. So it's definitely not anything that I'm ashamed of. But if you're anything like me, maybe you've battled with like anxiety before or consistently, like I do myself sometimes, or even depression or just like grief, like all these different things. It's not pleasant to deal with, but unfortunately, like it's a part of life. And a lot of people that know me know that God was not holding any punches this year, okay? Like he was coming to get his people that happened to be my family and was like taking them left and right from me this year, I feel like. And it was a lot to handle at once. And it's kind of affected like my daily like attitude, like behaviors and things. Definitely made me a lot more anxious, but I'm chilling out now. But earlier this year, beginning of the year, my grandma, I lost my grandma. That was like the first grandparent I've ever lost in life, and I'm almost 30. So that was that was definitely a big deal to me. She had Alzheimer's. So when you lose somebody with Alzheimer's, it's kind of like you like mourn their death twice. The first time is when it gets to the point where like they don't remember anybody anymore and they don't talk anymore. Like you literally can't have a conversation. So the relationship you once had is no longer there. But eventually you're satisfied with the idea that they're physically there. That becomes your new normal. And so that had become my new normal along with a bunch of other family members of mine. When it got to the point where like she literally forgot everything, including how to eat. Those are pretty much the final stages. So that was hard. That was a lot for me to take in as well. So that kind of put a roadblock in my like peppiness for this year. Then 6 months later, in August, my grandpa, which was her husband, he passed away. And I'm like, oh my gosh, God, I can't take this. Like 2 grandparents, and they were a married couple, like in the same year, within 6 months of each other. Like it is literally like The Notebook, okay? Just like The Notebook. And he happened to have Alzheimer's as well. He just had a different form of it. Like Alzheimer's affects each person differently. So a month before he passed away, I was literally able to talk to him, have conversation with him, laugh with him, and then that all stopped, and a month later he was gone. And that was really hard for me to deal with, probably even harder because we just had a regular, happy, fun, loving relationship a month prior to him passing away. And that last month of his life, he was like pretty much hooked up to a machine and he couldn't talk or say much. So that was really hard. I don't know why at almost 30 years old, I'm just now realizing in life, like, oh, okay, so people live every day, but people die too. Like, death is a part of life. I have never lost anybody close to me until, like, really, really, really close to me that I've known my entire life until this year. So that has been, like, extremely trying for me, and it has affected a lot of different people in the family, or sometimes even affected my relationships with them. So that's just been really hard to deal with. This year was my first time experiencing grief. So already being a person that has struggled with like depression from time to time and like anxiety on a daily basis, it's just now you mix in that grief and you feel like it's a horrible concoction that is about to blow. But thankfully I've had like the support of my husband, like by me every step of the way. And I've been trying to do things to keep busy, but you know, when you're kind of like in a funk, especially if it's like, you feel like overwhelmed, you kind of just like do nothing. So, that has been what's going on with me, and things that were once like exciting to me or thrilling, like for instance, watching my TV shows to review, that feeling of excitement kind of drifted away. But I do realize like I have to get back to myself. So I am trying to do better with that. Yesterday I actually read, let me not lie, okay, y'all. I listened to an audiobook. Charlemagne the God from the Breakfast Club. I listened to his audiobook, Shook Ones, Anxiety Playing Tricks on Me, or Anxiety Playing Tricks on My Mind, something like that. And I thought that it was a good listen, should I say. Y'all know I'm cheap, so I got the audio, Kindle audio or Amazon Audible or something like that. I got that for free for 30 days. So I got one more book to listen to for free. So, but I listened to that and that was really helpful. I really appreciated that book. It talked about like anxiety, of course, and just like feeling overwhelmed, and like how people should seek therapy and how it's good for you, and how a lot of people want to do therapy with people that look like them, but the minority community is not really represented well as far as the total number of therapists, counselors, psychiatrists, psychologists in this world. But the book does provide you with different resources to find, like if you're somebody like me, I would probably feel more comfortable sharing my life with someone, sharing my vulnerable feelings with someone that looks like me, that I feel like can relate to me. And I'm not racist or anything like that. Just opening up, I feel like they would understand me better. So that book gave a lot of good resources, like different websites and things to go to. And I'm sure you can just Google like Black therapists in my area and a whole list of people will come up. So that was also helpful for me. It helped me get like a boost, like on like life and getting back on track. So if any of you guys, I just wanted to make this video because I feel like if I'm going through something in life, or I went through something, then it's not just a lesson for myself, but it's for other people around me, and then other people that I come in contact with. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only one that goes through like dealing with grief, dealing with anxiety, dealing with depression, dealing with just stress in general. And I want to be able to help somebody else. So if it's that you need to go see your primary care physician, or you need to try to do things that will make yourself busy, or try to do things that will help you get back to your normal self, like feeling good, like Y'all changed my hair color and everything because I wanted to feel foxy and stuff. You know, I just needed a little spice in my life. Um, so, but that is like, it helps me feel like me, like my personality coming out. So, if you have stuck with me all this time, thank you so much. Like, I really, really, really appreciate it. YouTube is not something that I wanted to stop for the time being, but sometimes we have to like pump the brakes, pull ourselves together, and get back to like where we once was. So I really needed that break. But because I took that break, these videos will be coming at you back to back to back to back to back. And since I have all these freaking shows to watch now, I will be watching them and then recording it live. So y'all will be getting my immediate reaction. Okay. But thank you so much for sticking in here with me. If you made it to this video, thank you. Like, what? You care about my life? What? But thank you. And comment below if you would like. We can talk back and forth. Please like this video, share, subscribe, and catch me in my next video. Bye.